Yo, here live, Nashville, Tennessee, and we're going to talk some Rangers hockey tonight. We're going to talk about some of the rumors. We're going to talk about some of the news stories that I have, and we're going to discuss today's win. We'll start with some positive. The Rangers won this afternoon. That's about the only positive. The New York Rangers win today was against a last place team that basically is putting some pieces together to be a good hockey team, but they're far from a good hockey team. Mika, much better game today. Still responsible on the first goal with a very poor. There was three players on the ice today that I hope don't finish the season with the Rangers. Johnny Brzezinski, Mika Zibanejad, and Ryan Lindgren. Um, Lindgren just shooting out of the zone. Don't know where he was going on the goal. Mika with a half effort to get the puck back on a turnover. And Brzezinski just burned by Bedard. Zero effort, zero back check, no strength. Uh, Brzezinski scored. I know every time I curse this kid out and go nuts, he ends up putting a goal in. Good for him. You know, I really dislike him. I don't like what he brings to the team. He's a shooter. I like that fact. I don't like his size. I don't like the fact that he's not physical. I don't like the fact that he's not scrappy. Um, Bernard, comes up, he hits everything in sight. 6'4", 5'6". He throws his body around. He gets involved. He's a mucker. That third line is playing fantastic hockey. I feel sorry for Will Cooley. Another goal yesterday called back that he leads the league with 4 goals called back. Just think he'd have 16 or 17 goals right now if he got a break on any of these ridiculous hour and 45-minute reviews. Um, the NHL was kind of a little, I don't want to say shady because they got the call right, I believe. But that call took forever to make. You can't do that. You can't stop a game for almost 20 minutes to have a goal called back. I mean, it was ridiculous. Fans hate it, even if the call's done right. If that call went in the Rangers' favor, it's still annoying. I lost interest in the game. I was changing channels. I was watching other just other things. It sucks the life right out of the TV audience. Great job by Domingue. His goals against average is 1 in his last 2 years as a New York Ranger. He had a shutout last year, and he gave up 2 goals today. Great job. Spicy pork. Um, Keandre Miller. No one has beat this kid up more than me. No one hates him as a player more than me. No one loses his temper more than I do with him. He had his best game of the season today. His shots hit the net. He pinched. I actually saw him ride Bedard out of a play behind the net tonight. Very exciting to watch. It doesn't happen every game, even if the guy is a foot and a half shorter than him. Encouraging. Build that trade value, baby. Build it up. Riley Smith, keep scoring, buddy. Keep scoring those goals. Great move tonight. Slick hands. Good job. Goodbye. I love how a lot of the media has run with getting on Keandre Miller. I was there 2 years ago, guys. Everyone knows it if you follow me at all. I've been all over this kid. Mika Zibanejad, I've called him the Jesus twin. It's a Howard Stern reference for about 4 years now. There's nobody softer in the NHL than Mika Zibanejad other than Keandre Miller, but he's not a proven playoff winner. I'm sorry. And if the Rangers think for 1 second, I heard this babbling idiot Peter Laviolette today, the team is going in the right direction. No, they're not. Pat Maroon Patrick Maroon, who weighs about 360 pounds. I can't believe the size of this guy. Big rig, they call him. He literally looks like a beer hockey player. He looked like Link Getz. Is out there just intimidating and pushing the New York Rangers around. I understand. Listen, the Neanderthal fight is over, but you can't have your team. You can't have Schneider getting his head pushed into the ice. You can't have guys taking cross checks. You can't have him standing in front of our bench just talking complete nonsense, and no one on that team is capable to do a thing about it. No one. There's no one that was dressed today. Carrick, good scrappy guy. I don't think he can handle him. Edstrom, if he got his hands loose and actually threw a few punches, he has the size, but I don't really want Edstrom fighting Patrick Moron. Um, but that's a problem. The Rangers are easily pushed around. Easily pushed around. It's not fun to watch. They need to address the snarl. Everybody keeps talking about the grit. And listen, I love Emily Kaplan. Love her to death. She breaks more New York Ranger news stories than any beat writer in New York. Today, I guess we found out Chris Kreider has a bad back. That was never mentioned by the New York media. I hope people caught on to that. That's why he missed some games earlier this year. Where was that? Where was that published? Where was that even mentioned on the air? I know it's not cool to talk about injuries, but when you got to hear it on a national broadcast and then you can understand that maybe the guy is struggling a little bit because his back is killing him, uh, there's a time and a place to drop some hints. And it shouldn't always have to be on a major network that breaks stories on the New York Rangers. The New York Ranger media, the Rangers announced team, like I said, love Sam Rosen. Know Sam Rosen 50 years. USA Hockey, USA Network, when I was a little kid, used to come to Ranger games and watch them in the crowd. Sam Rosen's a great guy. Sam Rosen's way past his prime. Way past his prime. Micheletti sucks. Steve Valiquette needs to go. Dan Boyle is okay, but God, I love Dave Maloney. He just takes that entire team to task, doesn't hold back. Dave Maloney's a breath of fresh air. If you get a chance, do what I used to do. Shut the sound off and go to the radio. Now, everybody's waiting for me to break a story that I talked about. I want to set some guidelines here. You know, I do a lot of interviews with ex players. A lot of you know that I have connection to current players. What some of you don't know is I have broken many trades with my connections in the NHL. The Brandon Pruss to the Rangers trade, Derek Brugard, Mike Rupp, Donald Brashear signings days before anybody else have them. Alexei Kovalchuk trade to the Devils, player for player, 3 days before anybody else documented had it. Tortorella being fired was me. There was so much little stuff that I've broken over the years. Um, this is kind of weird to say. There is a rift in the locker room, and a lot of it surrounds the treatment of Matt Rempe. Matt Rempe is a loved figure by the veterans on this team. Trouba, Chris Kreider, they're I'm trying to. I want to not give away a source here, and I want to phrase this the way it was told to me. Jonathan Quick looks at Matt Rempe as another son. A bunch of the New York Rangers feel that they are being intimidated, and people like were not given fair chances to succeed under this organization who promised that they were going to address toughness 3 years ago. They did for a year with Ryan Reeves, Trouba, and they had a couple guys that would throw the body. They have stripped the organization down to zero toughness once again, and some people are fed up with it. I was told flat out that when Rempe was sent down earlier this year for Brzezinski, people were not happy in the locker room, one of them being Jacob Trouba, who was very outspoken about it. Jacob Trouba also, there's word on the street, was not very happy with having to take the brunt of the poor play of K'Andre Miller. There was some Peter Laviolette one-on-ones with Trouba, and from what I was told, didn't go well because Trouba was very frustrated about being singled out as a liability for his contract when other people on this team were making more money and loafing, and he was saddled with playing with K'Andre Miller. He would never come out and hurt Miller's feelings, but from what I was told, he was very unhappy how the brunt of that pairing fell on him. I was told that Chris Kreider was very vocal about having Matt Rempe on this team and the need for Rempe to play. I was told that the Rangers, as an organization, do not want Will Cooley fighting. That certain players on the New York Rangers have been told or asked not to drop the gloves, which puts them in a very difficult situation when you watch it today. Brandon Schneider 2 years ago played his best hockey under Gerard Gallant. Last year, under Laviolette, he had a great season, but his physicality was gone. The baby Trouba, I didn't see it once last year. The dropping his gloves to defend a teammate, didn't see it once. Laviolette is a coach that prefers non-physical hockey teams, and the locker room is fed up with it. Certain people on this team still believe that they're contenders, and they have a chance to win a cup if there is the core and surrounding grit. And some people like myself don't believe that this team has a chance to win the cup, and they need to stockpile and get rid of this marginal, non-tough organizational thinking of We don't need to drop the gloves. We don't need to protect our stars. I've never seen a defenseman get hit more than Adam Fox. Brian Leach never got hit like that. Buka Boom would have killed somebody. People keep saying that Adam Fox is not the same player. Well, if you were Adam Fox, would you be okay coming off and having your knee destroyed from a cheap shot and then getting shot, just hit constantly every game, runs taken at him every game? Fox, he's a tough kid. He goes right back at people. I like Fox. He runs his mouth, he pokes, he pushes, he shoves, but he should not be doing that. The New York Rangers need to have Edstrom, Carrick, and Rempe as a fourth line. They need to make a trade if it's for somebody like a JT Miller to provide a little bit of grit. They need to find their own Brady Tkachuk. They need to find their own Matthew Tkachuk. They need to get a kid like Cousins out of Buffalo who just doesn't give a shit. We don't have that. And from what I'm told, the Rangers as an organization and team feel like they are being let down and not giving a fair chance to succeed with their cup win. People are going to text me. They're going to ask me for a source. I'm not giving one. I don't ever give up a source. Just know I have given you scouting reports on K'Andre Miller directly from announcers that were on national broadcast. I've given you scouting reports from K'Andre Miller from scouts in the NHL, from coaches, actual coaches. I've talked to people who tell me the Rangers are easily intimidated, and that's one of the things that teams pry on is that if you hit them, you push them, you mush them in the face, they back down and they cower in the corner. I think some of the veterans have seen it. I think they're not happy in the direction that the team went. There's no knock on a guy like Jimmy Vesey. There is a knock by me on Brzezinski. I'm sick of seeing him. I'm so sorry, guys. I know he popped in a goal today. It was a beautiful shot. I don't want to see him on the ice. There is a time and a place where you need size. We're coming up to the halfway mark, too, by the way. When is Mr. I'm putting out memos, I'm going to trade people, Chris Drury, going and do something? He traded Kako. Big deal. Big deal. He got a solid defenseman. The kid's a good fifth defenseman. He's not a major shakeup. We need a shakeup. This team is 27th in the league, 5 points out of a playoff spot. It hurts me to say that. 5 points out of a playoff spot. We got to jump 5 teams. 5 teams. I love this team. I worship this team. Just look behind me. Look at this. I don't know if you could see this. I'm going to show you guys. Look at my house. Look at, there's Jay Wells. There's Rempe. There's Igor. There's the Ranger logo. There's Doc Gooden. I love Doc Gooden. Nicky Fatiou. Domi. NHL draft. Take a look, guys. I live. There's a Ruzioni. 270 inches side by side. Look at my house, guys. There's my masks. I worship this team. They're my life. I've gotten in trouble at school over the New York Rangers. I love the New York Rangers. I worship this team. I hate to see this team not be successful. Our drafting is terrible. We've missed on so many drafts. We missed on Kako. It appears like I would rather have Byfield right now than Lafreniere. We may have missed on Lafreniere. I mean, I know we had no choice but to take him, but that might go down as just being a failure. We missed on K'Andre Miller. I don't know, guys. This organization needs to prove something. I need to see some Canadian snarl. I need to see some heavy hitters, 6'2", 6'3". We got some guys in Hartford with some size. I'm really excited by Bedard and how he's come up and he's played really well for his size. I love the little water bug. We need more of that. We need more of that. Everybody wants to crap on this Shesterkin contract already too. Oh, Quick had a great game. Jonathan Quick is a great goaltender. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's not going to win a Stanley Cup. He doesn't have it in him at his age to win 4 series. Igor is God in this city for a reason. Get him a team in front of him. What are we going to do? Sign this guy and then surround him with crap? What are we going to do? Just suck the life out of the organization by having an 11 million goalie and then not put anything around him? Hank? We are in trouble. We need a Ryan Callahan. We need a Jeff Bukaboom. You don't want Rempe? I don't know what to tell you. The Rangers win with Rempe in the lineup. That's all it comes down to. They play bigger. And did you see the picture of Halloween? I'm sorry, Christmas. Jonathan Quick with Rempe on his lap, and they were dressed in the movie Elf. He's loved. He's a big, dumb kid on the team. The team loves him. Kreider came in and worked with him early. George LaRock, an NHL enforcer, is teaching this kid. The NHL needs Matt Rempe. I'm not even talking about fighting. Freak the fighting. He gets a crowd riled up. They chant his name. He goes out, he throws some hits. You know what? He played two really good games this year. He took a stupid penalty. Oh, by the way, why was that not called today? The only difference was that he didn't hit the boards. Foligno did not put the Ranger into the boards. He blasted him from behind. He was 4 inches off his feet. He drove him in the numbers in the back, knocked him down, leaping hit, no penalty call. Why? Rempe's a repeat offender. Why? The hit was punishable. 5 minute major, goodbye. Absolutely. 8 game suspension, it's a joke. Major joke. I will send every controversial hit on Twitter to the NHL player safety. I haven't gotten an answer once. Not on Bennett, nothing. I send every game I watch and I see a controversial hit, I send it to the NHL players. They don't respond. Then obviously they don't owe me an explanation, but I would love to get one. I'd love to know what the rule book is in the NHL because I don't think any of us have a defined rule or clarification of rules. It bothers me. It bothers me a lot. What's a penalty now is not a penalty in the playoffs. What's a penalty for the Rangers is not a penalty for the Blackhawks. What's a penalty for Rempe is not a penalty for 99% of the league other than Ryan Reeves. I don't get it. We traded a chip. We should have got Vetrano back. We should have got Gudis back in that trade with Kakko. We should have paired up Trouba and Kakko to the Ducks and fleeced them and tried to get McTavish. We need Canadian, North American, USA grit. I'd love to see Perreault forgo his next season in college and turn pro. The kid's going to be great, but he's not big. Surround these guys with big wingers. Surround and protect these kids, please. I know I sound like a Neanderthal. I know I do, but I'm not saying a goon. I need size. I need somebody that can come in today and grab Patrick Maroon by his head and pull him off of Schneider. Louis Domingue was ready to jump in tonight. Louis Domingue left his crease and was staring down Maroon. He knew another second where, excuse me, Schneider didn't come out from under that pile, he was going to get involved. Too many Finns, too many Swedes, doesn't equal a Stanley Cup. Just doesn't. It doesn't equal a Stanley Cup. Let me see. I got somebody blinking over here in the chat room. What do we got? I agree. I agree. 100% agree. They need size. They need to draft better, and they need to move on from Miller. There's a couple people on Twitter. I'd love to give them credit right now. I just don't have their name in front of me, and I apologize. But I think it was Pucker Up said that Keandre Miller will be out of the league in 3 years. That the Rangers will move on from him. In 2 years, he'll be in the NHL, AHL, and then he'll be gone. I could see that happening too. I 100% could see that happening. He is not an NHL player. And somebody also said yesterday a great point. He was not NHL ready. Tony Granato did a bad job of getting that kid NHL ready. Don't understand why. He is looked at as such a prospect because of his size and his speed. He's got a terrible shot. He's got terrible hockey IQ. He lacks physicality. I don't know. I'm a little upset with the pick. I don't like it. I don't like him. I don't want to really preach on. Guys, if you've seen my interviews, go buy the book. My boy Scoop, Facing Ben Wilson, excellent new hockey book. I've interviewed Ben twice. Eddie Johnstone is being re-edited and will be released probably tomorrow. I have interviews with Frank Beaton, Steve Martinson, Stan Jonathan, and a whole bunch of other people coming up soon. I need you guys to help like my channel. Go to YouTube, Hockey World Order, and like the channel, please. I've fallen behind on posting old fight videos. There'll be more up this week. I'm sorry, guys. Work has been crazy, and then the power outages and stuff here in Nashville with the ice this morning, and now torrential rain and flooding here. Let's go, Rangers. Leave me a comment. Let's talk. Let's have some fun. Tell me what you guys think. I'd love to know. I would absolutely love to know what you guys think about this team, what they need, who they need. Let's check back in 2 nights, next game, and let's have some fun. That's it for now. Go Tazu16, OTAZU on Twitter. Hockey World Order on Twitter. Say hi.